Briefly, good morning. From Nyeri County, we're seeing a resident there saying Wakenya hakuelewa kile Rais William Ruto alivyokuwa akisema. Ochanda, I don't know, what are the sentiments of residents in Kakamega County?
Of President William Ruto since he was sworn in about 8 months ago, and so Kenyans actually quite curious and anxious to know what the contents of this particular budget estimates will be, because remember that as of yesterday you actually saw that finance bill being actually passed by the National Assembly. Of course, the Kenya Kwanza side outweighed the Azimio side, and so that has actually now been passed. And so today at 2:30 p.m. we expect that the budget estimates will be presented by the CS Treasury, that's Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, of course, to the National Assembly, of course, to the National Assembly at 2:30. So we expect that the common mwananchi here in Kakamega, Vihiga, Busia, and Bungoma counties will be really weighing in to just give their views of what they really expect of the budget estimates. And of course, also remember that yes, the contentious 3% housing levy is actually, we saw the Kenya Kwanza side climbing down and of course coming back to 1.5%. Remember, yes, initially they had said that 3% will be deducted from the employee, then 3% will be topped up by the employer. Of course, one will be allowed to pull out in a span of 7 years, of course a minimum of 7 years, and will actually be reimbursed the 3%, that the cumulative 3% you have actually been contributing in that period of 7 years, and of course on the part of the employee. But when they climb down, they are now saying that of course the 1.5% will not be really reimbursed to the contributors. So ndugu, karibu sana, pengine utueleze jina lako and just tell us. Of course, we are actually expecting that in the afternoon the budget estimates will actually be read in the National Assembly in Nairobi. Maybe as a resident of Kakamega here, what do you expect?
Actually, I'm Songo Ngaira, a resident of Kakamega County, a businessman. I do expect that in the budget they should allocate more funds in value additional of our products, because we have been having raw materials exporting that actually do not give us the value for it, because we invest a lot in our raw materials, but unfortunately enough we export them rawly, so they normally give us very little. So if we do value addition, I think that we shall, as a country, we shall have more resources for us. And actually I expect that they should set more money in agriculture, because as a country we are basically agricultural country. So we expect that the national government should allocate more resources in agricultural input, and also in machinery they should zero VAT for machinery that we use in our farms. That is one area I expect that they should add more money. And also when it comes to health sector, we find that actually our health sector, it is at a breaking point, because there's no treatment, there's no drugs, and we expect that in today's budget the national government should allocate more resources for our health sector. Actually when it comes to medicine, for those facilities that are used in our hospitals that are expensive, and they have made treatment expensive here in Kenya. That is one way, one area I expect they should add more funds. And actually I expect that the national government should allocate more funds in hiring of teachers when it comes to education, because our education sector is understaffed, and we find that in our school there is around 50 students with one teacher. We find another one has got 70 pupils with one teacher. So I expect them to add more funds so that the TSC should employ more teachers. And also I want to urge the government should look in the area of taxation. Actually we are being taxed a lot, and I expect in this budget they should reduce tax on those basic commodities that actually mwananchi is using. Yeah, that is the area I'm expecting to see some changes.
Maybe as a resident of Kakamega here, which sector do you belong to? And of course, that sector, what do you expect that that budget will be doing to that sector to ensure it is actually improved?
As a farmer, I expect that they should add more, because I also do farming. But when it comes to buying farm inputs, we find it is expensive. And also when we use machineries like to plow our farms, we find like petrol, diesel is expensive, and post harvesting, what we use, the chemicals we use to preserve our foods are expensive. So I expect them to add more money and reduce tax on those inputs that actually affect us as farmers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Maybe we also talk to Mzee here. Maybe just tell us your name, and of course leo kuna waziri wa fedha atakuwa akiwasilisha makadirio ya bajeti kwenye bunge la kitaifa. Pengine kama mzee wa hapa Kakamega, wewe ni wa sekta ipi na pengine unataraji nini kitakachokuwa kikiweza kuwasilishwa na pengine kiweze kuboresha zaidi sekta ambayo wewe pengine unajihusisha nayo kila siku?
Mimi kwa majina naitwa Joseph Owino Muchesia, ni mkaaji wa Kakamega Lurambi. Mimi ningeomba Minister wa Agriculture, tuna maneno ambao vitu ambao vimeongezwa bei, na naonelea kwamba mambo ya vitu kuongezwa bei, mimi president achoe kwamba hii walipigwa kura na wananchi, kitu ambayo na president afanye hii vitu virudi chini. Mambo ya wapunga walikuwa kwa parliament jana wamepitisha, sisi wananchi hata tukiongea tukipinga hatuwezi kufaulu. Kitu ya pili, mimi naomba Kakamega, kama na Kakamega County, achukue wale watu walikuwa wa Uparanya. Kama mimi nilikuwa mtu wa Uparanya number 1. Achukue timu ya Uparanya.
Tukizungumzia tu mambo ya bajeti, pengine nini kingine kando na hiyo kwa ufupi sana?
Bajeti iko tu sawa.
Sawa.
Yes.
Asante sana. Well, Brenda from the residents of Kakamega here, quite informed, in-depth analysis here by the two here, really saying or speaking to an array of issues here where they really hope that this budget will actually be cushioning them against, actually especially really basing majorly on farm inputs, pre and post harvest. They are saying it's actually quite expensive. That has had a spiral effect on the final products, especially maize. And so they are saying the budget should actually be mwananchi friendly. So remember that in the neighboring county of Busia, we also have the long distance trucks drivers, or of course the transit trailers here, which actually fly Malaba to Mombasa, and of course go to the other East Africa countries here. And so we shall also be seeking to really listen to them to just hear what they expect here, because of course there's 16% VAT of course on all petroleum products.